What are the coaches and teammates saying as Herbert prepares for year 3?
Laura, comfortable has been the word most used to describe Justin Herbert throughout training camp as the quarterback now enters his second consecutive season in offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi's scheme. I asked receiver Mike Williams how Herbert can improve. Williams looked at me and just kind of laughed, saying he's pretty good. Then he explained that Herbert's taken control. He's a lot more relaxed, more vocal, knows where his spots are on the field, and knows where each receiver likes the football. As for what I've seen from Herbert throughout camp, he has certainly had some wow moments threading passes to Keenan Allen between defenders, but there's been perhaps more incompletions than what you would expect. However, talking to Lombardi, he's explained that because of Herbert's comfort level, they've been really able to experiment with some throws, how aggressive Herbert wants to be, and really have been able to test the limits. Laura.
Great context, Lindsay. And Herbert will surely be feeling some pressure, but the head coach, Brandon Staley, also going to be in the spotlight as well. He faced some criticism last season for leaning too much on the analytics in certain spots of the game. So we talked to him actually about that when camp started last month, and it was pretty interesting, RC and Boog. One of the things that he said was it was less about the math for them and more about showing the team that he believed in them, showing them they were going to have that mindset of being aggressive, believing in what they could do in certain spots. And while analytics are a piece of it, it was a standard he was trying to set. So I think that's an important clarification. But the other thing, too, is you hope when it comes to like going for it on 4th down, you hope that maybe your offense just succeeds so you're not in 4th down all the time. And that would be different. You talk to him a ton. You have more context.
I mean, you know who else talks about being aggressive? The Archbishop Shaw High School cheerleaders. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. That don't stop nobody. So when you look at this, he's thinking, he's thinking from an analytics standpoint, I have a defense that doesn't get off the field on 3rd down.
Right.
So you know what I'll do? I'll go get J.C. Jackson. I'll go get Khalil Mack. And now maybe I'll have confidence that I don't have to go for it on 4th down. I don't have to score touchdowns here because I'll have an opportunity to get the ball back because the defense can't. When I talked to Brandon Staley, he said, we understand building an offense around Justin Herbert, but now we're going to build a defense around Derwin James. Give Derwin James opportunities to move around, make plays, get the splash plays. And Derwin James told us on the pivot, he said, if we get the ball back to number 10, we have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. It seems that Brandon Staley is thinking that way too, and some of the changes he made may make him back off of that aggressive stance.
Yeah, it was interesting, Boog, because you could kind of see when Staley talks about that, some of the pain in his own face. He said, there is no one that takes it harder than me when walking across that field, knowing that maybe a decision I made or something that we didn't do earlier in the game led us to a loss. So what's your thought on the analytics side, but then also what they should look like this season?
Well, he can talk about being aggressive all you want to, but when you go for it on your own 19-yard line against the Baltimore Ravens, to me, that's strictly analytics. That's kind of dumb. Like, it's something you don't do. We rarely ever see it in professional football. So we can talk about the analytics. I'm starting to get into it a little bit, Brandon Staley. But the bigger issue, though, in Los Angeles is their run defense. Like, their run defense, if you think about this, think about that game against the Las Vegas Raiders. They had an opportunity to go to the playoffs or and be in contention, and they couldn't stop Brandon Jacobs running up the middle. Like, that was their Achilles heel all offseason. So we can talk about the aggressiveness and Justin Herbert. If this run defense does not change and they don't get any better, they're going to stink again. And if you can't stop the run in this league, it doesn't matter who your quarterback is. Eventually, you aren't going to win because of it.
You know, when you think about the AFC West, so many of us are trying to figure out how this whole thing stacks up. Some people got the Broncos potentially with Russell Wilson at the top. Where do the Chargers fit in for you?
I believe the Chargers, just on paper, have a team that could win the AFC West. This won't be the 3rd place team. This won't be the 4th place team. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs are the reigning division champs. But what they've added and what we've seen from Justin Herbert early on in his career, the talent on this team seems to be tops of the division. Now, you have to go out and execute. And the one thing we've already seen from Kansas City is that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, they execute pretty well together.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because I feel like, and Boog even brought this up earlier on the show, maybe the Chiefs have a little chip on their shoulder. Everyone in that division has built their team to try and stop Patrick Mahomes, right?
Golden State Warrior effect, though.
Yeah, we're not talking about
You got to beat the best.
It's true.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.